Just 18 months ago, she was ranked number 143 in the world. A promising talent, still searching for her footing on the professional tour. But what has happened since then has stunned the tennis world. And her latest ranking is proof that the EALA Express is moving at a speed no one could have predicted. The numbers are staggering. The climb has been relentless. And the tennis world is still trying to process what Alex EALA has accomplished in just 18 months. On August 3, 2026, EALA broke into the WTA Top 20 for the first time in her career, climbing 8 places to a career-high number 20. The jump came after her historic victory at the Wimbledon DC Open, where she captured her first WTA Tour singles title by defeating world number 3 Jessica Pegula in the final. The win earned her 500 ranking points, the biggest single tournament haul of her career, boosting her total to 2,106 points. But the story of her rise is written across the entire season. Just 8 months earlier, in March 2026, EALA had cracked the top 30 for the first time after reaching the quarterfinals at the Abu Dhabi Open and Dubai Tennis Championships, followed by a round of 16 appearance at Indian Wells. Her climb from number 54 at the start of the year to number 20 in August represents one of the most dramatic ascents in women's tennis. The numbers behind her 2026 season are staggering. According to reports, EALA has played 56 matches this season, the most of any player on the WTA Tour, winning 37 of them. She has scored victories over 6 top 10 opponents, including Iga Swiatek, Jessica Pegula, Elena Rybakina, Elina Svitolina, and Naomi Osaka. Her hard-court record alone stands at an impressive 8-1 on the North American swing. The milestones keep coming. She reached the 4th round of Wimbledon, beating defending champion Iga Swiatek along the way. The first Filipina to achieve a Grand Slam second-week appearance. She captured her second WTA 125 title in Birmingham, and she became the first Filipino player in history to win a WTA Tour-level singles title. From number 143 to number 20, from a promising junior to a legitimate contender. The numbers tell the story of a young woman who has rewritten the history books of Philippine tennis. And she's not done yet. The numbers tell a story of relentless ambition, and the 2026 record books are already filled with entries that will be difficult for any Filipino athlete to surpass. According to a GMA Network report, EALA has played 56 matches this season, winning 37 and losing 19. That makes her the most active player on the WTA Tour in 2026. A remarkable statistic for a player who was ranked outside the top 100 just 18 months ago. The level of competition she has faced is staggering. EALA has recorded victories over 6 top 10 opponents this season. Iga Swiatek, Jessica Pegula, Elena Rybakina, Elina Svitolina, Coco Gauff, and Jasmine Paolini. Her record against top 10 players now stands at 9-4, with 7 of those wins coming in the 2026 calendar year. The 2026 season has been a masterclass in consistency across surfaces. She reached the semifinals of the Berlin Tennis Open on grass, the quarterfinals of the Dubai Tennis Championships on hard courts, and the round of 16 at Wimbledon, becoming the first Filipino to reach the second week of a Grand Slam in the Open era. At Wimbledon, she stunned defending champion Iga Swiatek on center court in front of a roaring crowd. Her hard-court dominance has been particularly impressive. Since a heavy 4th-round loss at the Miami Open in March, EALA has not lost another hard-court match, winning the Washington Open and reaching the 4th round of the Canadian Open. Her hard-court record now stands at 11-3, including wins over several higher-ranked opponents. The statistic that truly captures her rise is this. In 2025, EALA was ranked number 143 in the world. In 2026, she has climbed to number 20, a rise of 123 spots in less than 2 years. The 2026 record books are being rewritten, and Alex EALA is the one holding the pen. The numbers tell a story of relentless ambition. But to truly understand Alex EALA's extraordinary 2026 season, you have to look at the journey month by month. From a promising start to a historic breakthrough, her rise has been nothing short of phenomenal. The year began with promise. In January, EALA started the season ranked No. 49, already a career high for the young Filipina. She reached the semifinals of the ASB Classic in New Zealand. And, despite a first-round exit at the Australian Open, she had already shown she could compete with the best. February brought a significant breakthrough. EALA stormed into the quarterfinals of the Abu Dhabi Open, a WTA 500 event, before suffering a loss to world number 11 Ekaterina Alexandrova. She followed that with a quarterfinal run at the Dubai Tennis Championships, where she scored a victory over top 10 player Jasmine Paolini. The performances pushed her ranking to a then-career high number 31. By the end of February-March, the month of milestones, EALA cracked the top 30 for the first time after a round of 16 appearance at Indian Wells, climbing to a career high number 29 on March 16. She followed that with another round of 16 run at the Miami Open, where she defeated 3 Grand Slam champions. However, the expiration of points from her breakout 2025 Miami semifinal run saw her ranking fall to number 45 by the end of the month. April and May presented challenges on clay. EALA struggled to advance deep into tournaments during the clay court swing, exiting early in Linz, Stuttgart, and Madrid. By May, her ranking had stabilized around no. 42, but the hard courts were calling. June was the start of something special. The grass court swing brought a huge boost. EALA won her second WTA 125 title at the Birmingham Open. She then made a strong run at the Berlin Tennis Open, where she defeated 2 top 10 opponents en route to a semifinal appearance. The performances moved her back into the top 30 ahead of Wimbledon. July was historic. EALA stormed up the rankings to a then-career high number 28 after a spectacular Wimbledon campaign. She became the first Filipino to reach the second week of a Grand Slam in the Open era, picking up wins over Renata Zarazua, Maya Joint, and defending champion Iga Swiatek before falling to Jasmine Paolini in the round of 16. August was the crowning moment. EALA made history yet again, becoming the first Filipina to win a WTA Tour title after ruling the WTA 500 Mubadala DC Open in Washington. She defeated Olympic gold medalist Zheng Qinwen, defending champion Leylah Fernandez, world number 10 Elina Svitolina, and 4-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka en route to the final. In a rain-delayed final against world number 3, Jessica Pegula, she triumphed 4-6, 6-4, 6-0. The victory propelled her to a career high number 20. The rise from number 49 to no. 20 in just 8 months is one of the most dramatic ascents in women's tennis. And with the US Open on the horizon, the EALA Express shows no signs of slowing down. The number is 20. It sits beside her name in the WTA rankings, a symbol of how far she has come. But what does being the no. 20 player in the world truly mean for Alex EALA, for the Philippines, and for the future of tennis in a country that has never had a star like her? For EALA, the ranking is validation. When she arrived at the Rafa Nadal Academy at just 12 years old, the goal was simple: to become the best tennis player she could be. That she would one day be the highest-ranked Filipino in history, male or female, was never guaranteed. The journey from a 12-year-old child in Mallorca to a 21-year-old champion in Washington has been filled with sacrifice, loneliness, and the kind of discipline that only the truly driven possess. For the Philippines, the ranking is a breakthrough. For decades, the country's sporting identity has been defined by basketball and boxing. Tennis has been seen as a sport for the elite, a country club pursuit accessible only to those with privilege and capital. EALA has shattered that perception. She has proven that with talent, training, and an unshakable belief, a Filipino can stand on the world stage and compete as an equal among equals. The significance extends beyond the court. French sporting goods retailer Decathlon has reported a 66% spike in beginner racket sales in the Philippines over the past year. Philippine Tennis Association Executive Director Tonette Mendoza has witnessed the transformation firsthand. Apart from just bringing in people to watch, she's actually got people to play. The grassroots revolution is underway. For her fans, number 20 is a source of pride. The Filipino diaspora that has transformed tournaments from Washington to Toronto to New York sees in EALA a reflection of their own potential. She carries the flag with her wherever she goes, never forgetting where she came from. Her meteoric rise from number 143 to no. 20 in less than 2 years is a story of what happens when talent meets opportunity. And for the future, number 20 is just the beginning. At 21 years old, EALA has already accomplished more than any Filipino tennis player before her. She has won a WTA 500 title, reached the 4th round of Wimbledon, and become the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam main draw match. The world number 20 ranking is not a ceiling. It is a launching pad. From the Rafa Nadal Academy to the world's top 20, EALA'S climb has been nothing short of remarkable. And with the US Open on the horizon, the question is no longer whether she belongs among the elite. The question is, how high can she go? The numbers are staggering. The climb has been relentless. And now Alex EALA stands on the brink of yet another milestone. The US Open beckons with the promise of history. EALA is projected to enter the singles main draw as a seeded player, currently sitting at number 20 in the world rankings. She is a cinch to become the first Filipina player to earn a US Open main draw seeding in history. The 21-year-old already achieved the feat at Wimbledon, where she was seeded no. 29 and reached the round of 16, the farthest any Filipino player, male or female, has ever advanced to in a tennis major. Now coming off a round of 32 stint in Cincinnati, EALA is expected to be seated even higher in New York as she looks to surpass her second-round finish last year. Last year, EALA stunned then-world number 15 Clara Tauson of Denmark to become the first Filipina to win a main draw match at the US Open before bowing out in the second round. A solid run this year could propel her into the top 15. A deep run to at least the semifinals would put her on the doorstep of the top 10, while a title run would vault her into the elite of the elite. With a 9-5 career record against top 10 players, including women's wins this season alone, EALA has proven she can stand her ground against the sports titans. She has already beaten Iga Swiatek, Jessica Pegula, Elena Rybakina, Elina Svitolina, and Naomi Osaka. EALA has also been named to Forbes Asia's 2026 30 Under 30 Entertainment and Sports list. The honor recognizes her as the highest-earning Filipino tennis player of all time. In an interview with Forbes, EALA reflected on the support she has received. Tennis can sometimes feel quiet and serious, so having that energy makes it special. On top of her singles campaign, EALA will make her debut in the mixed doubles at the US Open with world number 4, Felix Auger-Aliassime. She has arrived in New York with momentum, ready to end the Grand Slam season with a bang. What happens when a young woman from Manila, fresh off a record-breaking season, steps onto the court at the US Open as the highest-seeded Filipino player in history? What happens when the Filipino diaspora that transformed Washington, Toronto, and Cincinnati arrives in New York with full force? And when Alex EALA walks onto Arthur Ashe Stadium, will the world finally understand that the EALA effect isn't just about her? It's about a nation finding its voice on the biggest stage in tennis? The answers are about to unfold, and New York is ready. The EALA Express has arrived at the US Open. Alex EALA's record-breaking 2026 season has propelled her to a career-high no. 20 in the WTA rankings. She has won her first WTA Tour title, reached the round of 16 at Wimbledon, and is projected to be the first Filipina to earn a US Open main draw seeding. With a solid run in New York, EALA could crack the top 15. She has been named to Forbes Asia's 30 Under 30 list and is set to make her US Open mixed doubles debut with Felix Auger-Aliassime. The EALA Express has arrived at Flushing Meadows, ready to write the next chapter of her extraordinary story. If you enjoyed this story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We bring you the biggest stories in tennis, drama, and emotion every single week. Don't miss what happens next.